Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What's up, Myka, man?
I'm chilling, Stevie Stacks. How we doing, man? How we doing?
Doing good, brother. Good. It's been a long time.
Been a long time. Had to hop on for what episode number?
Episode 300 of your favorite short-term, midterm, long-term rental podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas.
Let's go, man. So yeah, it's been a while, man. How's things been?
Man, hectic as always. I've been keeping the fans up to date about my end of things. So people, tuning in and seeing Myka come back, I'm sure they know where I'm at a little bit. But what you been up to, man? Where you been?
Man, dude, it's been a journey. So basically I'm down to 10 units. I lost one management unit. I got rid of one of my arbitrages. I'm about to get rid of the rest of them. But this week I'm actually going to walk a unit that I'm going to manage. So basically my portfolio is dwindling down to own units and then manage units. So, and that's been like the best thing because, man, I don't know about the eclipse, like if y'all got that eclipse money, but I was getting long-term people booking during the eclipse, man. And I'm talking, these people are paying some crazy amounts of money. Like I had a few insurance extensions, and they paid like double the rates with the eclipse rates. So yeah, man, I've just been learning a lot, doing a lot of networking, like especially in like the insurance space, relocation space. I'm like really networking with, like, every day I go into LinkedIn and I just make two connections. I don't care if it's an insurance connection or relocation connection, just to really network, get my business out there. And after I connect with them, I send them who I am, and then I invite them to like my Airbnb page. So it's just been a lot, man. It's been a lot just learning and changing and pivoting. Everything changes with the short-term rental space.
And so why are you hopping out completely from arbitrage?
It's just not. It wasn't, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. You know what I mean? I just wasn't finding it worth it. Now this is one thing I am looking at to get me back into arbitrage per se, but I would do a rev share model. The reason why I would do that is because I found out that's a lot of these big wigs are really making their money. I think me and Mike were just talking about it. What's the company? Hello Landing. That's why they can sign like 200 leases, because they're doing rev share. They're like, hey, I pay the rent, and then whatever we make on profit, we just split it between the both of us. So it's like kind of a deal for the apartment complex, kind of a deal for you. I haven't hopped into it yet, but it's something I'm probably considering, because I'm just mainly focusing on houses. If I do go back to apartments, it would have to be that type of model, because I just like houses, man. Houses just do it for me.
Getting the insurance money from the houses is sweet.
I love it, man. And it's a business that's really surrounded around connections, and I'm starting to realize that now. You got to have connections out there. People got to know who you are. You really got to be on top of it. But I'm loving it, man. But once you get that funnel going, that sales funnel going, you really start to see the benefits, man. Because sometimes it gets frustrating. You're like, dang, man, nobody's replying back to these emails. But you start getting like 2-3 replies a week. You're like, oh snap, they're paying attention to these emails coming in. So I'm like, hell yeah. So
It goes
man,
from holy crap, am I gonna get this house booked after these people leave, to like too many inquiries after you get it booked again. You're like, man, I'm sorry, somebody already grabbed it, man. It should have hit me up.
straight up, man. I'm loving it, man. So it's just it's about really marketing, man. It's just that marketing piece. I think when we first started this, man, we started what, 6-7 years ago. I think like my LinkedIn profile says we've been hosting this for like 7 years.
Yeah.
We didn't have no marketing behind us. We just, like you said, get a couch, put it on Airbnb, you good to go. You making all the money in the world. But the saturation piece, and you start to see like the levels of hosts. Like I was in this group on Arkansas state Facebook Airbnb hosts, and this lady's like, this Home Link Corporation wants to book my property. I declined it. She's like, I think it's a scam. So Shit, I went on LinkedIn and looked them up, see if they're real. They were real. I started adding all their the CEO, the housing coordinator, and they were real, legitimate people.
Hmm.
And another thing I will tell people is start having those keywords in your listing because the insurance housing has partnered with Airbnb. I know CRS has, Sedgwick has, and a couple other ones. They've partnered with Airbnb for Airbnb for work, and they're really booking some people out. I got one reservation through Airbnb, and man, it was this lady paid $6K for 1 month. I was like, damn, shit. I'm like, you could have got it cheaper, but I'm happy you stayed there. Yeah.
Here's the thing, man, because I was gonna ask you how you handle the situation. I don't know if it happens to you so often, but it's been happening to me. Or like a friend or a family member saying, "Hey, is there any way I can rent out your place for like a weekend, like about a month out or so, and this whatever?" And I'm like, "Ah, man, here's the deal with that. I see, yeah, okay. You can tell it's available on Airbnb. Of course, the further out, the higher price, because we don't want that. We don't want those
Hmm.
1 day, 2 day bookings farther out. You know what I'm saying? But it's more for visibility for, like you said, the insurance companies are looking on Airbnb now, and they'll hit you up from there. So I got it out. I got it on there at a high price. I don't want them to see it at a Airbnb price. I want to see it double of that. But anyway,
Yeah.
so and of course your family member looking at it or a friend, and they like, well, okay, they want the bro rate. They want the the family discount or the friend discount. I'm like, it is, I'd love to hook you up. Here's the
Yeah.
deal. And it's hard to explain it to them. Yes, it's available, but I don't want I haven't told him this yet. I'm thinking how to formulate it. But I don't want these Airbnb bookings. I want the corporate bookings. So if you book a Saturday a month away or a weekend a month away, it could screw me up from literally thousands of dollars, man. How do you handle situations like that?
Man, that's a really good question. So I always tell it's a funny thing that just came up to me because my family reunion's coming up. And I had a family member, they was like, hey, there's one that big Airbnb you got White House available. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really do the weekend stays. I'm like, it really kind of hurts my business because I'm really looking to put people in there for weeks at a time. And I let them know that's just the business model we run. I'm like, we do weekends if it's like closer, if it's like in between like a long-term stay, or if it's what I say closer, like if it's a week out and it's a weekend available, yeah, go ahead and grab it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like gonna land a longer term client within that stay, but I just have to be real with them. And the funny thing is, and it's about educating people too, because like one of my people I manage for, he was like, "Hey man, I noticed you be declining those weekend bookings," and then I was like, yeah, I really don't want them because I want the people that want to stay a long time. And then he started seeing the people that start staying a long time. He started getting $5,000, $6,000 reservations. Like, oh, that's why you do it. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's more worth it. It ain't worth it to just sit there and take these little small reservations. But yeah, I just have to be transparent, man. Like this is the business model we run. We don't really, and I tell them I run an Airbnb, but it's not really like an Airbnb where weekend stays come in because, those stays, man, because I had one, they set the trash can on fire, man. I almost burnt down the damn house like a month ago, bro. Like, so, and I'm like, that's like why I hate Airbnb stays. Like, and they slipped to the cracks. We're like, why are you coming to town? They played us good. They're like, oh no, we're here for Easter. Just the family's coming. We're coming for Easter. And I should have known it was like a 3-day stay. And man, had a party. They didn't went and accidentally set the trash can on fire. They took the coals off the grill,
Oh,
and they
Lord.
all put them in a bag. And there was already stuff in there. They didn't pay it. Took the bag to the trash can. Man, neighbors calling, hey man, this is trash can on fire outside. Man, I went on the Ring camera. It's a whole fire out there. I'm like, oh, bro. So I'm like, oh man, but we ended up getting it straightened out. But yeah, man, it's always a journey. It's a
It
journey.
it's you can relate so many stories to that. I could relate, and you could relate because, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
just getting tired of these Airbnb stays. I don't want them. I want corporate. I want travel nurse. I want whatever I can put in there for a few months. Don't worry about it. But like a thing happened, and I mentioned it on the previous episode that a psycho guest ended up, utilizing a glitch in the Airbnb system where they could choose their own check-in time. And yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
went over all of it in detail, but long story short, this person last minute booking, we send out the thing, all right, here, check-ins 4 p.m., blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And they didn't respond to any. We sent twice, hey, you need to get confirmation. Check-ins 4 p.m., blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the next thing you know, at 11:30 a.m., we get all these pictures. What the heck is this? This place is the nasty. You charging for a clean?
Ah.
They got in the unit. And what
Mm-hmm.
happened? Yeah, they got, automated the check-in instructions and stuff, and they got into the unit and they're just, bitching and complaining and this, I'm gonna report you to, all this stuff. We're like, sir, what are you doing in the unit? Check-ins 4 p.m. I chose 11 a.m. check-in, like just freaking out, right? Just freaking out. Oh, sorry about that. The cleaners are gonna be there. It's gonna be before the 4 p.m. check-in, blah 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 blah. Long story, this guy just flipping out. Cleaners get there, I guess the dude stepped out. Cleaner started cleaning, and he's like goes crazy on the cleaner, throwing her stuff in the hallway. And yeah, and he's calling cops and saying we're invading on his privacy and all this stuff. And he's calling the cops, calling Airbnb, and then of course Airbnb gets involved. It's a safety issue. And we're just telling him he shouldn't be there. We want him out of our place, blah blah blah. I keep saying long story short, but listen to the previous episode. I go into it in detail. But this whole
Yeah.
time where we're trying to figure this situation out, trying to get him out of there, Airbnb refuses to cancel the booking. I can't
Yeah.
cancel it on my end because technically, because of their glitch, he's showed as checked in at 11 because he got to choose
Yep.
11. He shouldn't be able to, if he would have like got there early and we'd check into 4 and he's acting psycho, I'd just canceled it. No problem. Hit the cancel button. But he got in there and now he's claiming he has rights to the place. And anyways, we got him out, and still it took till the next day till Airbnb finally, like in the afternoon, decided to cancel the book. I couldn't send my cleaners. I didn't know what to do. I was like, because if the cleaners go and that dude comes back and all this, oh man, it was just a mess. And to me, I was just like, freaking Airbnb holding me hostage, holding my property hostage. This ain't their shit, and they're messing it up. And I'm like, this is the freaking reason why I hate Airbnb because they think they own your freaking property, man. I'm almost gonna go cussing now. But you mentioned we don't want Airbnb bookings, man. We don't want Airbnb bookings. We're on there still, and and I talked to Tiana the other day, and she's like, she's totally off Airbnb.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
100% off. She don't even mess with Airbnb no more. I said, you don't want the exposure. She don't want the exposure. She don't want the headache. She don't want the problem. She's making the connections, like you said, with these corporate places. She's got waiting lists at her places, and all she does 100% corporate. She's got an in with a construction company. They keep sending her people nonstop in these places.
Yep.
Oh man. And she's like, yeah, I don't need Airbnb.
Yeah. You got to get to that point, man. Because I'm sure that construction plug is huge. But to go on for people that's going through that glitch, because that glitch happened to me. It happened to me. Yeah, you got to make sure flexible check-in is off. That's what it is. It's because I didn't know they could check in because set the check-in time to 4. So I thought if you turn on flexible check-in, they can check in anytime after 4. Man, nah, they can go in there and click. They can choose and the really big one like that partiers have been getting away with is they'll choose to check in at like 2 a.m. So like, let's say you're thinking the check-in's at 4, but you got flexible on. Man, they can go check in at 2 o'clock in the morning, go kick it all night, have whatever orgy kicking it thing they doing. And like, yo, they ain't your shit at 2 o'clock. For real, man. I started noticing, yeah, because that happened to me, bro. And I was like, what is going on? And my VA's the one who caught it. She's like, oh, I think it's the flexible check-in. They can just pick what time. And so, yeah, bro, I've been there.
Because what the flexible, I understand the concept behind it
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
it used to be you choose 4 p.m. to whatever time, all the way up to like 2 a.m., whatever. You choose a
Yeah.
time. And then I guess that, helping the mom and pops out that are renting rooms out of their house, they don't want to be, waking up for somebody to let them in at 2 a.m., so they'll cut
Yeah.
it off at 9 or 10. You got a window to check in. But with so many remote Airbnb, most people is self check-in. So they said, oh yeah, 4 p.m. to flexible. Y'all can check in whatever time you want. I don't care because you got a door code. Who cares? But what the glitch is, yeah, you're giving them that word flexible from the drop down, and I didn't know that they could choose freaking 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And my thing was, and I went on the Airbnb, what's it called, the forums and stuff, and I'm lighting
Yeah,
them up because there's other people with the same problem, and I'm
yeah.
like, and this is from 2 years ago. This started, well, in 2022, the
Whoa.
first time people started writing about this, and I said, what's it gonna, everybody's saying Airbnb won't do nothing about it, they won't fix it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what's it gonna take for Airbnb to do this? It's gonna put the host in a dangerous situation, the previous guest in a dangerous situation, the cleaners in a dangerous situation. Because okay, what happens? Okay, even if you don't deliver the door code until like 1 minute before check-in, whatever even if you do everything perfectly, what if the guest that's there extended and they just walked in and closed the door, didn't lock it behind them, whatever, and then all of a sudden this guy chose 11 a.m. check-in and just messes with the door code, nothing happens. He just tries to open the
Yeah,
door, walking in on some family or something, and homeboy has a gun. And, like, I mean, this is a
yeah.
big freaking deal. The Airbnb is putting people in this position.
It is, man. And their big thing is safety, right? So I mean, yeah, that thing is dangerous, bro. I found out you could do that. Like you said, we understand the concept behind it, but it's a dangerous thing, bro. And I was like, man, I just made sure that crap was off, bro. I'm like, you got to check in at 4, and if they want to check in earlier, they just ask and we accommodate. Because, bro, it gets ugly, man. Because I had somebody at the same situation. They checked in, complaining about it wasn't clean. I'm like, bro, you ain't even supposed to be up in there. But luckily, they were like, oh, I didn't realize that. And I was like, it's a mistake on our end. And they were like, can we just leave our bags? And we go. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And cleaners
Yeah,
came,
yeah.
cleaned around their stuff, So,
Happened to us a couple times, like a few months back, and they were cool like that. And they just asked if they could leave their
yeah.
bags, and they were cool. But we just happened to get a psycho this time. That
You mean
was
a
just
Karen?
a male Karen, a Marin, whatever you
Oh,
call it, man.
a
He was
kid.
just going crazy, yeah, just going nuts and just freaking out, and then calling cops and all. And then it gets deeper. Look at my episode, the one previous to
Yeah.
this one, 299, and you get all the details because it was just the craziest situation. I didn't know what to fucking do, man. You got me saying the F bombs in the
Damn.
show, but I.
Oh,
But
my bad. You cleaned it up.
yeah, I've been a little bit cleaned it up a little. It's like
Yeah.
Club Shay Shay in here.
Oh, I'm not about to start telling you my life problems now. Who I'm beefing with. But
Man, I've been enjoying watching all the stuff come true from the Cat Williams
man,
Club Shay Shay podcast. That was
I think, was that a manifestation or what, man? Can't be going to them Diddy parties, man.
Man, it's funny. I went to pick up my daughter from elementary school. It goes all the way up to 6th grade, right? And I
Yeah.
passed through the playground area with the older kids. They're like 5th and 6th grade, 4th grade, whatever. They're messing around, hanging out, and then they're like, "Oh, no Diddy, no Diddy," kind of. I'm like, "Oh man, this guy's ruined, man."
Man,
No,
the
everybody
internet,
saying no
man.
Diddy.
Man, the internet never fails, man. The kids gonna pick it up, bro. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Oh my God, man.
I, I was gonna go into something. I've been working like 2 days a week at the day job now. I just got down to like 2 days a week. Sometimes
Hell
I don't even
yeah.
go in sometimes I take a whole week off, but like about 2 weeks, 2 days a week just to keep the benefits a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, just having these like days to commit totally to the business, and those hours, is just caused growth exponentially, man. And
Yeah.
and I remember because you had quit your job a while back, right?
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
but when you did that, your business took off from there, or what?
Man, it did. Like, and it was really the learning lessons that we learned in the business because me and Mahogany were both off. We were just grinding, going at it, waking up every morning, go over what we're gonna do. And it's funny you brought that up, man, because man, that's why I love this podcast, hopping on every now and then, because I'll get to kind of go back into my time and what's been going on. I really like I'm back on the 9 to 5 now. And so is Mahogany, but it's kind of like a struggle because you have to turn off the entrepreneurial side
Mhm.
of your brain and just really kind of like commit to like this non-process, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver, right?
Mm.
So you solve problems. So like when you're on the 9 to 5, and I have a good 9 to 5, like I have good management and all that. But when you see like a problem, people will complain about stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, this is the way to fix it. But it's like they rather just complain, like forget fixing it, just complain about it. I'm just like, let's point the finger, and that's not what we can do, right? One good thing I learned, and this is why I would say anyone who does want to like, because I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm more a real estate investor, but anyone who wants to like pursue what they want to do, it's good to take off and then like you have to grow. You like your mind has to grow, because if you don't work, you don't get paid. If you don't change up the way you talk to people, if you don't change up how you connect with people, you don't get paid. And that's a really good feeling or a really good growth spot, because it really builds your character. Because I'll be meeting like, it'd be crazy. The people that's guaranteed a paycheck, they're the most asshole people, don't try nothing new. But the people that got to grind for it, they grow. They want to change. They got to change, man. And it's been like kind of it's been a little bit of a struggle going back, because I'm like, man, you're in this problem solve. It's like 8 to 5, I turn that side of my brain off. And then 5 o'clock, I'm like, I can use my full brain. Like so I know, man, enjoy that, man. 2 days a week, go after it, go get it, man. Yeah, you definitely grow. But the biggest growth to me is like the mindset you develop and the things the people you meet too, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And it's funny because like you think, okay, I'm gonna sit here at work for 8 hours, like you said, with using kind of blending back into the general population, the
Yeah, Gen Pop.
gen pop, and then you're like, man, what am I gonna make today sitting here for whatever your pay is, $200 or $300, Uncle Sam takes
Yeah.
their bite, you maybe come home with a couple hundred, and I'm like, I could make a couple moves and I could probably make like 2,000, $3,000 today
There you
if I'm
go.
not stuck in this office. I mean, I can go home and do it, but I still
Yeah.
want to spend time with my family. And I'm like,
There you go.
and you get to that point where it's
Mhm.
costing you money to go sit somewhere for 8 hours and to, do something for someone else. And even if you do get your little breaks here and there and you can dive into, it's hard to go back. It's kind of distractions everywhere. It's hard to like do the deep dives on the stuff you
Yeah.
accomplish while you're at work.
It is, man. And it's like, man, I really had, then this book called The Gap in the Gain that really had to help me and change my perspective. I had to like look at, okay, what's the gain of being on your 9 to 5? The gain is, okay, you get the benefits, you get the benefits. You also easier to get loans, because you don't want no high ass interest rate right now, because boy, it's ugly. But it's easier to do those things. So I had to like really live in the gain on that and really make that my focus. And then also just being focused on what we want. Like we know, hey, we need this many more doors, get them paid off, and just keeping that singular focus on the end game. Cause yeah, man, it gets tough, bro. But I've been sticking through it. It's been cool. I've been sticking through it, learning a lot. But yeah, I know what you mean, bro. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Now,
But congratulations to you, man. 2 days a week, that's good. And you get to keep your benefits, and man, that's so dope.
yeah, it's not bad. I can't complain too much. I'd like to have it 0 days, but
For real.
I'm on the fence. I mean, yeah, like I said, it is costing me to go in now. I got to the point where my business income surpassed, my job income a while
Nice.
back, which is cool. But now I'm to the point where, like I was saying, it's costing me money to be. I feel it's costing me money
Yeah.
to be there instead of doing what I need to do at home, even
Yeah.
if it's just 2 days. But yeah, I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. The
I
jumping
know
off
what you
point.
mean, man. So no, my question is this though. Are you planning on like buying any houses, doors, anything like that?
Oh yeah, always, always.
Yeah. See, and then all right, you
But
do well. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, and on that point, I don't want to mess with banks no more. And I
Okay.
and
So
I'll tell
yeah.
you I'll tell you a recent thing that happened, and I was making an offer at this. Okay, so we had two arbitrages at this complex over in Dallas, right?
Okay.
And actually, one of the arbitrages, our lease expired, so we actually is managing it for the girl that owns the place, right?
Yeah.
And she said, hey, we're doing a great job, corporate, blah, blah, blah. And she said, hey, my neighbor was asking me if I might be interested in buying his condo. She goes, I'm
Okay.
not looking, but maybe you would. And I know the numbers, and this place does pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, let me check it out. And I said, well, first I asked him, would he consider seller finance?
Ooh, yeah.
And she said, okay, let me ask. And then he said, yeah, he said he would consider it with the down payment and blah blah blah. I said, all right. So we're going back and forth for a little while, and then she's in between because I don't have this guy's number, and then it's kind of like floundering. I said, you know what? Here, I'm gonna type him up an offer, and I typed him up. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, dude. I've seen videos, I've seen the Pace Morbies, but actually sitting down and doing something, I said, screw it. I'm gonna just write up this little offer sheet and I'm gonna give it to her, and she sent it to him. I said a down payment amount. I said, interest rate 5%. I chose 5%. I should have went
Yeah.
lower initially, but I said, okay, just to
Yeah,
make
that's
it
still
attractive.
good.
To me, I was just trying to, get his attention, not giving him a low ball. I want to get his attention. I still hadn't seen the place, and then of course, when I see the place, then that's when the real negotiations begins. But I sent him an offer, and for his full asking amount, and this here you go. I sent it to him. And he said, okay, looks interesting. You can go see the place and all this stuff. I went and saw it. It looks nice. Long story short, he started like getting cold feet a little bit. He sounded really interested in the deal,
Mm.
but his deal was like, well, I don't want to pay a giant what's it called? Capital gains on it when I sell it. And
Oh,
I'd rather just put the money 1031 into the next thing I buy. And I was like, okay. And that was, a question I should have anticipated, but I didn't know. Like I said, I'm just learning to do this stuff. And the only way for me to learn is actually do it, right? And so of course, I scoured the net and I even called Tiana. Hey, you're an accountant. What is, I was calling, and she's
yeah.
like, oh, Atlanta, we do deals, nobody got to know about. I'm just kidding. It's just kidding. Um, and I looked it up, and it's pretty much saying what I've discovered, and I is that if let's just say he makes $100,000, right? Capital he'll have to pay either 15% or 20% of that, the
Yeah.
long-term capital gains, if he sold it to me. But that is stretched over 30 years. So I showed him,
Yeah.
at your percentage, 30 years, 100 grand, you'll probably have to pay like $500 a year in taxes for this
Yeah.
capital gains. Because I'm not like, if you sold it through the bank or whatever, you're getting all that lump sum at once. Yeah, they're gonna take a big bite out of the capital gains
Hell
if you
yeah.
don't 1031 it or something like that. And I said, I'm just saying you won't have to pay that much, $500 a year. I'm paying you, plus I'm paying you the interest. And I'll rent it back to you until you find a place you want to move. I'm giving him all these
Ooh,
options.
sweet deal on.
And he just couldn't get his mind around it. And I'm like, to me, I was like, why did he even say he would entertain an owner finance when in the end he don't want to? And I couldn't, I was talking through the intermediary, so I couldn't really sit down and chat with him and tell him, and I'm learning too. But
Yeah.
I would have said, well, 1031 is great, but you have a certain time period to point out the next house. And if you don't, then you're going to get hit with the taxes anyways, all at
Yeah.
once. Plus you had to pay all all the fees, all the appraisals, all the fees that go into closing. I was going to cover all that at the closing anyways. So it was not a win, not a victory, but I learned a lot. I learned what to say on the next one.
Heck yeah.
And I'm gonna be doing these. I'm gonna make myself do these every single week. At least do one, and I'm gonna get better at it. I'm gonna get so many no's, but all it takes is that one yes.
Bro, we on the same wavelength. Let's check it out. I run one real estate deal a day. I run one real estate deal, make 2 LinkedIn connections. That right there is so powerful because you're building repetition. That's all it is reps.
Mhm.
If you build reps like that daily, man, you're gonna get so good at that, bro. It's gonna be crazy. Like you're gonna be closing them left and right. So yeah, keep that up, bro.
Here's something else that came out of that, and thank you for that. But like, all these videos I'm looking at, all these Pace Morbies and these other guys that this is how you talk to the seller. This is how you talk to the seller to convince him, and I'm taking notes. But I couldn't find a video that's like tailored for the seller because everything in these videos is like showing the benefit for me if I can convince the seller. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a loom of me talking, showing exactly, hey, this when you sell your house to me, this is boom, boom, boom. And then that in this way, if I'm not getting anywhere, going back and forth, I said, let me just send you like a quick 2-minute loom video to show you exactly how it would benefit you to sell it to me owner finance instead of the traditional bank route and this and that. So I have to go, since it ain't out there, I ain't found one that's just talking directly to the seller. It's more talking to us investors how to talk to the seller. I got to go create
Mm-hmm.
one, and then I'm gonna have something to show somebody to explain it to them really simply.
There you go. That's your wealth right there, man. You put that on video, you in there, bro. Because that's really what's needed, man. Is showing you, because the best experience is doing it, right? Because I mean, you can watch all the videos in the world, but you start doing it, you're gonna run into something. Then you can take notes on it. So yeah, man, talking to sellers, man, it's a journey. It's a journey talking to them sellers, man. And then you got some that want to just really just tell you their life story and then not sell you their house. So I mean, you gotta you learning from it, man. That's good. You're doing that. That's good.
Yeah, shout out to Shannon because he's the only one that my buddy, that he's gone to our meetups and stuff. You remember Shannon? He'd been to our Big
I think
Brother.
so. I think so. Yeah,
He'd
yeah,
been
yeah.
to
Okay, okay. New
yeah.
Orleans from Louisiana, right?
Well, he has that house in
Houses out there.
Louisiana,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
but he grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
In those projects, I think the same ones you told me about, and that you visited. Yeah, he was telling me a story
Chicago.
about that. He's seen some stuff. Did you go visit
Oh yeah.
Chicago? You went to the tour of the projects and all that? You told me
No,
about it.
not in Chicago.
It was
I,
some other
I went to
city.
Chicago.
Okay. You said you told
Me
your
and
uncle you went to go tour the.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I told him we was walking down. I forgot was it Michigan or Matt? We was walking down the street and we told him we had walked down. He was like, "Man, you was in the hood, man." I was like, "We was cool. Me and Mike just walking. I mean, So, but yeah, yeah.
Because he got to talking about that because he grew up in those buildings.
Damn.
And like he said, he saw crazy stuff growing up, but to him as a kid, he
Yeah.
just thought that's normal, like a dude
Yeah.
in the hallways and stuff laid out with a needle in their arms and all kinds of stuff and just violence and he said, yeah, man, I lived in so and so building on the fifth floor and blah blah blah. I was like, oh, you a brother man from the fifth floor?
Bro, man. Bro, man from the fifth.
Can I get a sandwich?
Making a sandwich.
Shout out to Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the only like person at work I could really talk to these things about because
Yeah.
he's interested in the owner finance and seller finance and sub
Man,
two,
bro.
all that stuff.
Yeah. That's a hit right there, bro. Especially because I'm down to do it. I'm just looking to I've been trying to look at how I can use my self-directed IRA because we're with Equity Trust now and they'll help you buy a house. So I've been like, should I burr something? Should I just buy something outright? So I've been kind of looking. I'm like, man, if I do owner finance, you just brought it back to my attention. I could put small bits down and get a bunch of houses. So I'm gonna see about doing that as well, man.
It's funny. I talked to the guy that sold me the other condo in Fort Worth, owner finance, right?
Yeah.
And I called him. I asked him, hey, how do you deal with the taxes side with the capital gains since I bought it from you, owner finance? And he said,
Yeah.
well, he don't have to worry about that part of it because he did it within his IRA. So it's not taxable, right?
Yeah.
And so
So it's like,
he don't have to worry about paying a capital gains tax or whatever because everything is inside his IRA. I send the payments to his IRA and it all stays in that. So I was like, oh,
yep.
that's interesting, man. I like that.
Yeah. I went to a meetup in Fort Worth. But this is actually back when we were doing it full time, man. We had that type of time. So back when we was both off work, we used to go hit up meetups in Fort Worth. That's actually how we got our first wholesale deal. But bro, we was out there and that's when a guy, he was like, man, I need to look into using your self-directed IRA. Because we were both off work, so we could just roll over our money from our 401ks tax free into an IRA, then go tax free buy houses. So yeah, man, definitely, yeah, look into that. That's a hit.
That is a hit. The only thing is you can't really. Here's the only question I didn't ask him. I should have asked him
Okay.
like the cash flow from a real estate from a rental. Does that go all into the IRA? You can't really touch it and live off of it, kind of thing.
That's what I was wondering too. But I think from how my IRA is set up, I could rent the house to my short-term rental company. My short-term rental company pays the rent back over to the IRA, right? So now any cash flow left is mine. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that cash flow is now the businesses, and then if you're set up as an S corp, you can distribute an X percentage of that profit back to yourself. See what I'm saying? So it's just like we were doing with arbitrage, lease the property from ourselves to the LLC. But this situation is two LLCs, your IRA and then your short-term rental company. So you could do it that way.
Okay, so your short-term rental company is renting it from your IRA.
Yeah, because like when you talk to the IRA, the first thing they tell you, like they're real big, like, hey, if you're buying this house, remember you can't have nothing to do with it. You can't live in it. You can make some repairs, but you better have every single receipt that you made. Yeah, see, that's one of those things, like you say, you watch a YouTube video, but then you do it yourself. And I'm like, damn, this is like some serious shit, ain't it? She's like, yeah, you can't. She goes, you can't live there. She goes, you need the receipts for everything, and everything that's being charged needs to be charged back to the IRA. So I was like, oh, damn, like they're serious about that. So in an IRA, everything, you need a good paper trail, a real good paper trail.
Yeah, it's never as easy as the gurus on the videos.
Yeah, they leaving something out. They leaving something out. Shit, they sounds too good to be true. They're leaving something out, bro. They're leaving some shit out.
It's gonna be some missing details in a 20-second reel.
Yeah, missing details. Straight up, man. I'm like, oh, this sounds easy. I'm like, dang. But yeah, he was like, but the guy, that's why it's so important to network. He was telling me all this. He goes, you can use it, but you got to know how to have your paperwork set up. Yeah.
It's funny when you're doing the networking and stuff like that, because I talked to a dude the other day. He's out there developing. He's buying land, putting apartment complexes on it. 27 unit, 30 unit plate complexes. He's building them. And then he linked up with me because I'm arbitraging some in Fort Worth from and the manager knows me, and he sent me to him. He said, oh, there's some in Arlington he's got that you can do arbitrage at or whatever you want. And so I'll talk to him. But as soon as I got a hold of, because he's old school. Well, he's like 51 years old. This guy, he's cool. He's from Arlington, graduated from here, but he's a businessman around here, developer. And text message, he ain't too into that. He wants to do a phone call. So as soon as I got him on the phone, hey, Steven, how you doing? So what are you trying to do? It's like he's on a different wavelength, man. These heavy hitters, they don't want to bullshit around, man. Okay, yeah. What are you trying to do? What are you looking for? Okay, what percentages do you want? And this and that. I was like, whoa, I thought we were just, a fill out conversation. No, time is money, man. Time is money. When you talk to these guys, they don't got time for no BS. Tell me what you want to do. If I could do it, see if you can help me. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, whoa, man. I want, I got to prepare myself for these kind of conversations. Oh, it's like, whoa, like one after another, right?
Yeah, let me take some notes. Hold on, man. Damn, what percentage you want? How many units you want? Where's the land? Like, hold up. I know what you mean, bro.
But he was kind of insinuating, like, like you mentioned, that rev share thing. Because he's talking to like people that are like, well, if I have someone manage this whole complex, because he don't want to freaking deal with management. He wants to put someone in there to manage his places. He's had houses. He's had every kind of property you could think of, but he always puts a management on it because he don't want to fuck with that. So he's like, because he's got bigger fish to fry than dealing with tenants and toilets, whatever. But which is cool. It's a great way to look at it. A lot of these things that little small things that we worry about will hold us back. And and so he's like I said, different wavelength. And he was talking about is kind of like saying, well, if I could manage something like a 27 unit or whatever and fill it up with, short-term rental people, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, we could talk about that. And he's asking percentages. And I said, well, for individuals, this price, this percentage but if you're gonna give me like a deal like that, it would be this percentage probably. He's okay. He goes, why should I hire you over all these other companies? I'm already like, damn, am I fucking being interviewed? But because why should I deal with you instead of these other companies? So I said, well, first thing I said was, I'm local. I live right down the road from like the units you're talking about. I don't know where these people are coming from. They're in California or whatever they're coming from. But I'm local. I'm here. Something's messed up. I can handle it. I'm down the road. And I grew up. He goes. You grew up in Arlington. I grew up in Arlington. I lived there for a while. I know what's hood and what's good. And I'm like, so yeah, just trying to make this personal connection with the dude. And so he loved the chat. You know, he emailed me this long thing and said, "Yeah, we're gonna connect and this and that." And so yeah, I just got a connection from a connection. That's how it works, man.
Yeah, see, and I love that type of arbitrage. Are you going to rev share or are you just going to arbitrage them?
No. Well, I'm gonna the rev share model. I would lean towards that,
I
and
like
then
that too.
putting the filling it up with short term rental people.
Man, me too, bro. Especially if you can get with the developer. Man, that's making money moves right there, bro. That's ahead of the game. Now you shit. We now and this okay, so are you furnishing it or are y'all splitting the cost on furnishing it?
Oh, like you talking about for setting them up to do short term rentals?
Yeah, to setting them up.
See, we didn't even talked about that. To me, I'm thinking someone's gonna come in. And, oh, that's a good point. I need to sort that
Yeah.
out because I don't know if he wants me to set him up the short term rentals for him. And because he did ask how much does this cost to set up like a 1 bedroom or whatever, and I said $5 or $6 grand, 4 or 5, 6 grand, depending on how big it is and all that stuff. So yeah, that's probably what he was thinking then. I'm now that you mentioned it.
Yeah. I'd be
Um,
wondering that too. Cause I was like, I would do a rev share model if we could either split the setup costs or he sets it up completely and you get everything until we pay you back, something like that.
mhm.
Because right now, I'm kind of like that Adam James route. How do I reduce risk? You know what I'm saying? If I can keep the risk low, cash flow high, I love that way.
To me, I was thinking more like, I'll just start advertising it to the short-term rental community. Got some beautiful units over here. You can rent it from this price. Management is built in though. That's the only thing. If you want to do some arbitrages, the management, us, Argis Rentals,
Mhm.
we're gonna run them for you. Well,
Yeah.
this is built in, so you're not gonna. I don't want to happen is bad operators coming in. I want to be able to control
Oh
it.
yeah. You control it. Yeah, you manage it. Yeah. But
So, yeah.
see, because with the rev share model, I wonder how that works. Like if it's rev share, I'm setting it up and you're managing it, and then are you taking your 20% or whatever percentage, and then the rest is split between y'all? How would that work?
That's a good. I never even entertained this before,
Yeah,
so
that's the stuff.
it's a lot of things to
Yeah, a
iron
lot of
out.
moving parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I would just do a straight rev share either way. I would do a straight rev share, or I would do 20% manage whatever. Yeah, because either way is low risk.
Right. Um,
So,
so you're hopping out of Dallas completely.
man, oh man, dude, I was loving Mansfield, man. I was loving Mansfield, but the so the owner, the okay, so this is what I noticed the difference between managing for somebody who's arbitraging and managing for somebody who owns. Manage for somebody who arbitrages, there's a risk because they lease could be non-renewed or whatever, but they're more hands off. Managing for somebody who owns, you have to like turn their mind off of landlord and into hospitality. So like one of my people I managed for, she had her first guest. She's like, "Hey, I was watching the cameras. They were doing this. They were doing that." I'm like, "Oh man." I'm like, but I worked with it. I'm like, you got to kind of. I'm like, stuff's gonna happen. You just have. We're gonna invoice them. We're gonna get everything back, charge it back. But with that management client who was arbitraging, the basically the lady found out how much she was making on the property and she not renewed it so she could do Airbnb herself.
Mm,
But we weren't even, but she don't know these were high end clients. So we wasn't just getting them off Airbnb. Like we was getting like $6,000 a month for this house in Mansfield. And that's why I was looking at Mansfield. I'm like, damn. So so we ended up losing the management contract. She's like, yeah, man, she doesn't want to renew. So I was like, it's cool. I'm like, she was like, if I have another one, though, I'll come to you. I'm like, cool. So we still got that relationship.
the thing about
Yeah.
Mansfield is it's all HOAs over there, right?
No, man. Like older Mansfield, it's not, but like the new side of Mansfield, it is because like the gated communities down there, a lot of those are HOAs, but there's a huge side of Mansfield that ain't got HOAs. Also, the city ordinance hasn't been put in place yet, like completely. So, so you still have opportunity there. That's my only hesitation on buying there is the laws aren't in place. But Mansfield, man, it's growing, bro. They got the HEB down there. They got they're building a river walk in Mansfield.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, Mansfield's on the way up. Like Mansfield's damn near touching Midlothian. You know, it's already touching Venus down there in Venus, Texas. It's touching
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, bro,
Across
it's
the freeway, man.
yeah. So it's moving. So you really can't lose in Mansfield, you know. So and then there's so many people there, and then they got them two big ass hospitals down there. So
Can't believe
yeah,
how freaking much it grew, man. There used to be nothing there, just
nothing.
farmland.
Straight up. See, when I first came to Texas in 2010, when I decided, well, when it came to Dallas, man, I remember Frisco was like that, bro. That wasn't nothing but a dirt road, a McDonald's, and an apartment complex, and a 7-Eleven. And shit, that shit blew up, man. It's crazy how fast the DFW is growing.
Yeah, I was so I got a client now, and I
Okay.
mentioned on a previous show, she was looking for an arbitrage, and I found her one. She's out of California, right? And so I
Ooh.
found her one, South Grand Prairie, nestled up to Mansfield. And
Oh, yeah.
I instantly it's so crazy how things come together because I instantly had someone reaching out. They needed a place in Grand Prairie ASAP. We hadn't even got this place. She hadn't even got this place rented yet, but I told her this is a good deal. Came with solar panels on top of the house.
Ooh.
It's funny, the solar panels, we got our first bill, she got her first bill of $7. It was, I was like, damn.
How
But
much they hitting her for on the monthly, though?
well, the monthly's a little bit, it kind of up there, but not like she's still saving money in a way. You know what I'm
Okay. See,
saying? She's still saving
man,
money.
go ahead, because I'm
But
not about
but the
that.
way rents have gone up anyways, now that price we got it for is normal. Because I mean,
Yeah.
even a month ago, rents have been just jumping, dude. 3,000 is gonna be the norm soon. And
Bro.
it's insane. But anyways, so we got someone locked in for 6 months. Like day one, they wanted to move in right away and barely got it. I helped set it up and all that stuff, right? And 6,200 a month. $6,200 a month for 6 months. And then they called me and said it's probably going to be 9 months to 12 months now because there's a house fire. And said they're pretty much gutting this whole thing out, this and that. So I mean, and so I hit a home run for her like day one. So she's happy as hell. She wants to do some
Bro.
more investing. Now she's talking about doing some JV deals and buying properties and stuff like that. So it's
Damn, bro. You out there moving, bro. That's the best thing you can get into because man, I got a client like that who's a realtor. Man, and she has all types of deals and connections. Those connections go a long way, bro. A long way. Cause yeah, man, those them JV deals, I'm all for them. That's how you got to do it. You know, partner with people, especially people who know your work.
yeah.
Reputation is everything.
How would you set up a JV deal? So let's say you got someone out of state, got some money, wants to get some property over here, and you're going to be the boots on the ground and set everything up, make sure everything gets fit, the make sure the house gets fixed up right, all that stuff. How would you set up a JV deal if they're not like actively over here participating? You know what I'm saying?
Man, so what is this for? Like, are y'all
Like
buying
buying
it?
a
And
house, fix it
uh,
up, and then turn it into a corporate.
okay. Are you? I'd request equity
That's what
for
I'm.
me. I'd go for equity in that situation.
And what I've seen is
Yeah.
like people that are the boots on the ground that are finding the deals, that are helping you close and all that stuff. All you got to do is present the money. I've seen that the boots on the ground people are asking for like at least 50% equity. And I was like, I was like, when I first saw these deals, I was like, wow, that's a lot. But
I
it's
would do this. I understand 50%, but it depends on what you're doing. Like, I don't know. I guess you could start out going in at 50%, but my thought process is I would just try to go in at like 30% equity, see how much work I have to do. And then on the next one, I'd be like, if I partner with them again, I'd be like, look, man, this work was this much. I might have to bump it to 45, 50, or whatever. See what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I like an idea like that.
Okay, yeah, that's good too. So I don't know how to set these up. I'm just
Yeah.
saying what I've seen people do is
Yeah.
like they get a group of investors together, form an LLC. The person who's running the deal, like a Grant Cardone kind of person,
Hmm.
they're taking
Yeah.
a big ass chunk of the equity, right?
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, now that I see because they're doing a shit lot because you're in syndication at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I see them taking like 50. That makes sense.
But anyways, so So that's, I mean, these opportunities are coming from just getting out there, networking, meeting more people, it just compounds, man.
It does, man. Definitely. But yeah, man, it's been fun, man. It's been a fun ride learning all this stuff, moving around, moving in different directions. Um, really just learning what's the most sustainable way for your business is the most important thing right now. Because I think people are definitely jumping out the Airbnb game, which is a good thing because it's less competition for us. Because a lot of people are jumping out right when the insurance companies are jumping inside of it.
Mm.
And man, one thing I will tell people, like if you're just now starting off and you want to get into like corporate and short term rentals, man, unfurnished housing is a hit right now. I was just sharing the details of I think I was talking to Mike. I was just sharing the details of the information I've been collecting. I've been talking to ALE. This lady's got 40 something claims, but they're only looking for unfurnished housing. 40
Damn.
something claims, and they all want unfurnished. And this new lady I had just set up, I went to a meetup and I talked to him about corporate housing. She got 3,500 unfurnished. She didn't have to do nothing. All she had to do was turn the internet on. I was like, damn, bro. Internet and electricity. And she was like, man, Micah, thank you so much. She goes, yeah, I didn't even have to furnish it. They found me on Zillow. And yeah, so if you post on Zillow right now, unfurnished housing, unfurnished corporate, and use like those keywords, I'm thinking about doing it probably on my next one. Like my next pickup, I'm thinking about doing like the unfurnished route just to see how it works out.
I can't believe how many homes, because I'm on Zillow every day, of course, and I look for buy, I look for rent, whatever. But when you look for the rent, hit the rent button, and you look over whatever city you're looking over, how many of these houses are owned by Invitation Homes and First
BlackRock.
Key, and yeah, all these Wall Street corporate companies are buying every freaking house they can buy, dude. And then so I don't even mess with trying to, either arbitrage or whatever with those houses because they're not trying to do that, not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet. But maybe it'll get to that point because they keep jacking the rents up and everybody else there's hardly any mom and pops anymore that are out there. I mean, there's a few, but not compared to them because they're buying just blocks and blocks and blocks of houses.
Yeah, that's a little strange,
Turning them
man.
all
So
into rentals. Turning them all
yeah,
into rentals.
yeah, they are. So what I would do stuff like that. Like if you really want to go find that clientele, the only success I've been finding, because I'm just like you, is going to the meetups. You got to go to where the mom and pops are, and then like the ones who like, hey, I'm struggling with cash flow, and you be like, either you could do a rev share model with them, or you could do a management where they bringing in extra cash flow for them. Because yeah, man, um, that
Single
seems to be
family.
where it's going. Yeah, single
Single
family.
family homes. That's what Wall Street's buying right now. I would
Oh,
say that you can still find a ton of mom and pops in the condo space. I don't think that Wall Street
oh
owns
yeah,
condos,
not at
but
all.
they
So
might.
how are you liking the condo space? Are you doing just one bed, one bath?
For I do have a one in that complex I mentioned to you. I have one bed, one bath there. It's doing great. Corporate. And I have the one I managed that we used to arbitrage, but we kind of sold it to her in a way, with all the furniture. That one is a two bed, two bath, and that one's killing it too. So those are doing great
Ooh.
corporate, because it's a good complex. It's got a pool, you got a gym, nice area.
See, man, the problem with my complexes with my two bed, two bath, they're just kind of ghetto, bro. Like, I mean, it's just one of them ghetto situations. It's a nice unit once you get into it, but you got to walk through the ghetto to get to it. So it's like you've already turned them off by the time they've reached the unit. So they'll complain about stuff that's outside the unit that's really not in it. So yeah, that nice condos. Only good thing I like about condos is like for like corporate is they have to upkeep the property because you're paying HOA, right? So you have to
Mhm.
upkeep the property, and then the um the corporate people love that. Man, that's a good play.
And we do have a condo, well, the one I own myself
Mhm.
is over there, Cedar Springs,
Okay.
the neighborhood, whatever. They they it's it does really well too. And
Yeah.
it's and the cool thing about that one, and it's a two bed, one bath, but the cool thing about that one is the HOA you pay includes all the utilities. So electric,
Oh.
water, gas is all included in the HOA payment, right?
Mhm.
And so you always know what your utilities are going to be every single month. And then if you're, it really is not, to me, it's not an advantage if you're trying to traditionally 12-month, whatever. People
Yeah.
really don't take into account the utilities price when they're looking. They go, oh, I want a place for 1,500 a month, and then yours won't pop up because you're charging 2,000 because you're paying for those utilities for them. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
as a corporate play, it's great because it's all rolled into the HOA. So you always know what that HOA fee is, which covers all the utilities. They can blast the AC all they want. They can blast the heat all they want. It doesn't matter. It won't raise it $1 over. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
it's a good play for that. If you can find a HOA, that condo association that covers all of your utilities. I mean, it's great for corporate.
Oh, I like that. You can't miss with that one.
Yeah, yeah, because utilities are getting crazy.
Bro, out of the world crazy, man. Like, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, utilities, and it'll kill you, especially in Dallas. Utilities plus taxes, boy, it's hard.
It's a rough
So,
lick, man. I'm hit me up after the show. If are you actively, you got buyers for your arbitrages in Dallas yet or no?
no, but I mean, I guess they could buy them, but I was just letting them go. But I mean, if
Oh,
somebody wants to buy them,
you
sure.
already your leases are coming up.
One of them is, but if somebody wants to, sure.
I mean, just
Yeah,
that way you don't have to deal with all the furniture. You can just hop out and then don't have to
yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
move
Yeah, I
all
ain't
the
got to
stuff
do
out.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That'd be the thing. That'd be the thing. Moving costs too, man.
Oh, geez, everything costs.
For
But
real.
so I'm unloading mine. I got some people out there, they're already picking up a couple, then they're telling their friends they're getting a couple more, and it's newbies in the space. And I sent them the
Yeah,
numbers. I said they're profitable. They're not, you're not gonna make 2,000 a month on these things, but you're gonna make something
sure,
and you're gonna learn the game. And
sure.
I'm just being truthful with you.
Yeah.
It's a great way to learn. But they're excited, the first time they're doing it and all this stuff. And so yeah, maybe they'll pick up yours as well. But I'm offloading mine, hopping out of Dallas, focusing on Fort Worth, mid cities, Grand Prairie. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
man.
just, to me, Dallas is the other side of the world. Well, people don't understand, that are listening to the show that aren't from here. Fort Worth and Dallas are two different worlds completely, man.
Yeah.
I'm a Fort Worth guy. I'm in all my stuff's in Fort Worth. Getting to Dallas is like getting to freaking Houston or something, man.
Yeah.
It's
Same for me. It is. It's hard. Like for me to get to one of my units, it take me 45 minutes.
and that's without
I'm
traffic.
all that's yeah. That's without traffic. Exactly. So yeah, Dallas is I'm just getting rid of them. I just don't I'm not, they're just not they just ain't profitable enough for me. You start looking at your cash flow from my house is just paying for these units that can't produce, man. You got to get rid of them bottom hoes. They ain't producing. So you got, you know, can't have my top notches paying for the bottom ones and them bottom feeders. But, I'm like, nah, this
Get
ain't
out
working.
there.
So
Get me my money.
there you go. So I'm like, man, I got to get rid of it. So yeah, Dallas is, and then like I seen that the DSTRA just had another meeting. I was trying to go, but I couldn't make it because I wanted to see like, okay, what's coming up with it? Are still pushing stuff or y'all lawyers doing their job? So it's just a lot of headache in Dallas, man. But if they do ban it in the certain areas that they were gonna ban it, it's gonna be opportunity out there. It's gonna be opportunity.
Opportunity. And be sure to build your business for corporate. If you're
Yeah,
gonna get into this game, build it corporate first and foremost. If you
yeah.
have to use some, man, I'm even if there's like a week gap between two corporate, I'm tempted to not even try to fill it. I'm just like, I don't want someone to come
It
in there
is.
and trash my freaking place and ruin a 3 month or 6 month booking. I'm tempted to just get a good cleaning in there, see what we need to replace. I don't even want to deal with some freaking Airbnbers.
Funny thing is, we just did that one of our places we managed. She was like, "Would you mind if I just go 30 days?" I'm like, "Fine by me, man. We do the 30 days. If somebody wants to book a week, nah, you know what I mean?" It is. You start to, and I've been saying it, man. Leisure travelers are the worst. They're just the people you just don't want. They're high maintenance. People that are coming with their family, they have, hey, I'm just here. My house is down. I need somewhere to stay. It's just less. They're more grateful to me. They seem
Man,
more grateful, and it's just easier to serve people like that.
the people that are renting that Grand Prairie one I was telling you about for that 6,000, 2,200 a month. That
Yeah.
I did a tour, with that guy, and he was just older guy, and I think they're in their 70s. Oh, and
Yeah.
he asked if we could put they ask if the house is for handicap safety. What is that called? It's called
Oh man.
yeah, I forgot what it's called. Something certified. I don't know. But which means
Yeah, I know what you mean.
you got the bar in the shower, a chair in the shower, you know what I'm saying? So they could, so they could sit up and support themselves. And the hallways are wide enough. No stairs. Well, there's a stairs, but it's just like a loft up there that they're not going to use. And yeah, there's certain things. And so I said, man, we'll install that bar. And I went to Home Depot. And shout out to Dave, who he went and helped me install. It's just you find the studs, you put a few screws in, you got you a shower. That's for handicap accessible, right?
Oh, I like that,
Disabled
man.
accessible. And the chair. So that bar itself costs like $15. That chair cost about $20-30, and you can host, it goes a long way. You could land this $6,000 booking just by putting a couple.
Yo, that is the episode 300 plug right there, man. Hey, anyone knows our episode 100, 200, and 300, we always drop something. That was the plug right there. That was the plug.
Yeah.
That was the plug, bro.
It's easy. Go to Home Depot. There's a bunch of those bars. And then I will say, listen, if my advice, if you're gonna do this, find the studs first in the bathroom wall, in the shower wall. You know what I'm saying? Find you do a little.
Oh, I thought you said find the studs to do the job. Like, whoa, hold on. Okay, got you.
That too. If you can do that, it's even better. But you get some studs in the shower. Hey, man, what kind of episode is it? No Diddy.
I was like, what? Okay. I was like, oh, okay. Got you. Okay. Continue on.
So you can measure, because that's the thing. There's different size. There's different size of those the holder thing, the railing, whatever. So you find the studs first that on the wall. Measure how far apart it is. That way you know which one to buy, so it'll fit. You can screw it in exactly where the studs are, right? Because there's different sizes. So that's the only piece of advice I'll give. And then you buy a little the chair that you set in there, the waterproof chair that you set in there, and you're good to go, man. It's pretty much all you got to do, and you can land. No. You could call yourself that.
Now, does it have to be? It needs to be a walk-in shower, right?
A walk-in shower, yeah.
Okay, that's dope, man. I like that, man. That's why I love this podcast. That's why we're the best podcast. This type of information,
just giving it away.
Hell yeah, it's giving it away. Damn, yeah. So
this is fun, man.
It always is, man. So hold on. So how were you? Do you have a way to market to those type of people that are needing that type of housing? Have you found that out yet, or you just kind of ran across one?
That's a good question. I know because this happened so fast, we didn't even take professional photos yet. Because someone wanted this house right away. I did like a walkthrough, and I said we're setting it up. This is not even set up yet. I took the pictures. And then I was able to get it like in 99% ready condition before that guy did the tour, right? And so I didn't even take professional photos yet or nothing. And so, but I would definitely put that as one of the first few photos that you would see. The shower has the rail. Oh, and it has to have one of those the hanging shower head that you can.
Oh, the removable one, so they can take it off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to have one of those. And luckily that shower already had one of those that they could remove and use. Really? So I didn't have to install one, which it's not too hard. You just kind of unscrew the old one and screw in that one that you could, handheld one. And then, the rail and the chair, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much, like $100 and you do it yourself. It's not too bad. Of course, a contractor, they're going to try to bend you over. Contractors are expensive, but you can do it in like an hour. You can have this set up and it can land you something like this. Because without that, we wouldn't have probably landed this one. But we said, don't worry, tell me what you need. I'm gonna go get that rail for you. I'm gonna get that chair. I'm gonna get that shower head, and they were good to go. So I would say I would put that front and foremost in the pictures, and the first line or two I would say we are, whatever that word is, I can't think of it, handicap accessible, or I'm probably offending a million people right now, but whatever it's called.
They know what the hell we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a total of less than $300 to get 6,000.
Well, like, yeah,
Oh,
probably $100, man. Because the chair is like
damn.
$30. That rail's like I said, 10, $15, maybe 20. And then that shower head, whatever that is, 20, $30. I don't know. It's not even
Yeah.
$100.
Damn. Yeah, you in there. I'd do that all day, man. That's a good hit right there.
Now, a good hit too, if you take it to the Mike Brown level,
Hmm.
start a little company that goes and does this. I'm sure maybe there's companies that exist and do like more extensive, but start a little company that'll just get you a few simple things, maybe a little ramp on your front, too, where you walk in the front door.
Picks and
Um,
shovels, bro.
yeah, just and you tell these Airbnbers, hey man, or corporate providers, hey, I looking at the pictures of your house. I can go install a few things that might help you land the people, handicap or disabled
Mm.
people that'll help them stay at your house, and you might land some big bookings. And
Vertical
then
integration.
yeah, hire some kid to go boom, 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 put a few screws, install these things, and there you go, man. I don't know.
Hell, you can
It's
hire
just
somebody off TaskRabbit to do that.
like,
You're just sitting there sending them out to the work. That's what's
see, think
up,
about
man.
it. Like someone that like an operator like us, someone says, "Hey, $500, I'll go knock it out in an hour, be ready to roll, and then you be getting your big bookings." $500, hey, that's not bad. That's a drop in the bucket if it's going to land you, 6,000 a month booking.
There you go, man. See, and that's why I love corporate, man. If you could have 10 units bringing you 6,000 a month, that's 60K a month. Cash flow crazy, man. You can't lose with this. This is why I love the corporate side and getting away from the Airbnb crap, man. That's how I love it.
Mm, mm, mm. And like I said, like we were talking earlier, you price accordingly. You don't want to be, your calendar filled up with little bitty stays out months
Yeah.
in advance. And a lot of that's the problem with a lot of people that aren't putting corporate first. Their
Yeah.
calendars, they're not able to host it. We are, because our calendars
Yeah.
are clean down the road. And people are
Straight up.
scared of that. People are scared of that. But no, no, no. You're what do they say? You're picking up pennies and walking over dollars doing that.
Yeah. And it's that business model, man. Because I'll be seeing these people post like their calendar's 100% booked, but they run that smaller tier business model, man. And I'm like, that just ain't worth it to me. You always dealing with issues, 2 nights stay here, 3 nights stay here. And it's just nonstop issues doing that. But that's how some people run their business.
It's funny too. The 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 two complexes, like I said, that I have condos at, right? Condos, not
Yeah.
apartments. They switched to 30 days only stay, and I was pretty bummed at first when they did that, where it's 30 days minimum. But that has kind of handicapped me, made me focus solely on corporate. Even on Airbnb is 30 days. And Zillow, whatever, Furnish Finder, of course. But those kick ass because of that reason that I can't even rent short stays. It
Hmm.
makes me focus 100% on corporate, and I'm marketing it out there 100% on corporate, and I'm staying booked at these places.
Now, hold on. How big are these places? What size?
Let me see. The one bed or one bath unit at let me see, over there near the airport in Dallas is about 800 square foot. The 2-2 is around 1,100 square foot, and the one I own is about 1,000 square foot. That's a 2-1.
So they're smaller units. See, because this one I'm putting it on a 30-day minimum and it's a house. So I'm kind of like seeing, will I get that consistency? Are you getting them through? Are they booking 30 days through Airbnb?
They've been paying big bucks to
Yeah.
do that too. That's
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I'm wondering that because I'm like, with this house, I'm like, and I told them the risk. I'm like, if we can't get anything, we're going to be advertising for you. Um, so yeah, I was concerned about that too.
I'll tell you this one thing too, like this, like houses that I have, Grand Prairie.
Hmm.
And I know the guy, and I told you I know the guy that's code enforcement. And Grand Prairie's on the ball. If you don't have your house, if you don't have a permit, they'll find you quickly, right? And they'll
Hmm.
say if you don't have a permit, you have to do 31 days plus. It's a weird deal. They want you to do 31 days, right? It's instead of 30, whatever. But sometimes I'll get one of these, like I said, I'll get one of these houses up and running, and I'll get an inquiry needing a place in Grand Prairie right away, ASAP. And I'm not saying it only happens in Grand Prairie, it could happen in any city.
Hmm.
But so I'll have this place filled before I'm even done finished and done taking, I haven't even done the photos yet. It's like a common thing. And so I might have already put in for the permit and paid the money. You know, it's like $400 or $500 for the year. But I'll tell my hookup in or the code enforcement guy. I say, hey man, you know, I'd like to, you know I put in for that, and they call me, hey, when can we go tour it? I'm like, I got a 3-month booking in there. Can you tour it after these people leave, right? And he's like, yeah, we can come back, because I don't want the clock to start today, get approved for the permit, and then 3 months of the permit I can't even use because I got someone I don't need it. So I'm only gonna get 9 months worth of the permit, and then I'll get another long-term booking right after that one, and another one. And I'm like, and Jimmy's calling, when can I tour it? You know, it's like, I keep getting these long bookings, man. You don't got to tour,
man, bro. Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. That's all, bro.
and that's set at 30 days. That's set at 31 days, and they just keep getting the corporate bookings.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You killing it, bro. You killing it. I love it.
I mean, it's a lot of work, though. We're not trying to make it look easy for you guys.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Man, it's a lot of advertising that goes into it, a lot of networking that goes into it. Because man, I've been on it, networking, advertise, network, see who I can find. I'll just go with Facebook groups. I don't even have to comment. Sometimes I don't even comment. I just go scroll, see what people are posting. What are they running into? What issues are they running into? And I'll just be like, oh, let me see if I can get in on that. Because I remember me and you used to talk about this. People have like this obsession around Airbnb to where it makes them afraid to go outside of it. And man, I think that's the huge advantage right now, because like these people are networking with you. If you got a place and you're outside of Airbnb, they're willing to book and talk to you and get you good rates or whatever. So I'm loving it.
Even guests, I mean, they're afraid to go off platform. I'm like, sure, you want to pay $5,000 a month and you could hit us up. There's our logo. Hit us up. $4,000.
Bro.
They no, I want to stay inside Airbnb. Huh?
When this lady paid $6,000, but the insurance. So this is the weird thing about the insurance is paying it, right? But they're willing to pay. Usually insurance is like consistent with it across the board. But this lady paid 100% through Airbnb. I don't know if you got the insurance, the Airbnb for work for insurance yet. So you're talking to two people. You're talking to the end guest and you're talking to but the insurance person books it, but you have access to the insurance client. So like she was like, hey, the insurance guy, every time it's time they're going to book for 30 more days. He just says, hey, what's the rate going to be? And we'll be like, hey, well, just look on the calendar. He says, okay, cool, approves it. So last month, I'm like, damn, we're probably going to lose them because the eclipse, right? So I'm like, damn, we'll probably lose them. But I was like, maybe I'll come down on the rate. He just instant booked it. I was like, 6 bands. I was like, yo, whoa, he did that? Like, craziest thing I ever seen. But and I think for insurance clients, it's because claims adjusters, this is what I think they're running into. I think they're sick of going to these companies and having to find people. And so I think the companies know it too. So like the CRSs, the Sedgwicks, they're like, well, forget it. We'll just go book somebody off Airbnb. And then now we already have something for the claim adjuster. So it's been crazy, man. So yeah, Airbnb is starting to become a hit for that. But,
So what's that? You mentioned Airbnb for work. What's that?
Yeah. Basically, it's been around a while. Like, it's like, so like, remember when like the pandemic hit? So people were trying to get away and go do remote work and things of that nature. That's what it used to be for. So now you have the insurance company saying, hey, we're corporate basically. And so this person's either they're here for work or really they need housing in between housing while their house is being rebuilt. Airbnb's kind of got with that program. So the insurance client's booking directly on Airbnb now.
Is there anything special we got to do to be a part of that?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up. I don't think we do. I think you just need to basically have an open calendar. You know what I mean? And so how I set mine up, I've been doing, how back in the day I used to do 30 days out. You got to be a minimum of 4 nights. Now I do 30 days out, 30 nights.
Nice. Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. So, and that's been working perfectly for us. 30 days out, you got to book for a month.
That's a good plug right there.
Yeah, man. So it's finding that way, man. Finding that way.
Episode 300. We come a long way, man.
Long way, man.
Episodes.
300, bro. We got to keep on growing, keep on doing it, man. Shout out to Steve. He's been holding it down, killing it on the LLT side, man. Y'all keep on tuning in, keep on listening. It's been dope.
The Myka will pop up every now and then.
Yes, sir. I'll pop up, man. It might be closer sooner. We'll see. I always got something going on. I always have it's always good to hop on and release all the stuff that's been going on, the craziness,
Yeah.
shit's on fire and everything else. Man, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
It could, I mean, there's wonderful days where like everything just, green lights, all this, and then there's days that everything goes wrong. Yeah, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
But you just get too low with the lows and don't get too high with the highs. Just roll with it and don't freak out. Don't panic, man.
Yeah, but don't panic, man. Stuff's gonna happen. Shit's gonna hit the fan. Just keep on going.
When all that crap was happening with that psycho dude and all this stuff and handling, I just told my wife, you know what? I'm gonna go take a nap. I just told her I'm just not gonna deal with this. I said, it's in limbo. I hate when things are in limbo. In this business, sometimes things are gonna be in limbo for a little bit. It's just part of it. I said, I'm gonna go take a nap, dude.
Straight up. You gotta just release, let it go, man. I see you got a guitar behind you. Play your guitar, do something.
Guitar,
just,
the
gym,
get
your mind off of it.
Pump some iron. That always helps.
That blood flow, man. That blood flow always helps.
Go hit some skins. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Get a release.
The best release.
Where can folks find us, Myka?
Man, find us Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Live, Let Thrive. Send an email. They still using the info at liveletthrive.com, Myka at liveletthrive.com, Steve at liveletthrive.com, all that good stuff, man. Hit us up. We still active. You might not see me as much, but I'm still active. So yeah, I'm gonna get back on Instagram. I ain't been on in a while, but I'm definitely gonna be back on there. So yeah, man, it's good to be back. Good to come holler at the fans. Thank y'all for continuing to support it, man. Keep on supporting. And Steve gonna keep cranking them out.
Keep living, letting it thriving, y'all.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.